What's up, gang? It's Carlton Flowers here with Family Sports Network, and I am back. I've been busy, and I'm still in shock and still in down after that crazy Super Bowl, which we're going to talk about very soon, and the season as a whole, the Chiefs season, because we need to look back and remember how much everyone had written off the Chiefs. We're going to talk about that, stating that they only had a 5% chance of even making it through the playoffs to get to a Super Bowl, much less win. But at any rate, we're back into the grind, and so I'm going to have Scott Flowers come on here in a second to talk about my previous favorite player. For no other reason than the high expectation that I had, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, number 11, was my favorite player for the last couple of seasons. Even though I was disappointed because I thought that this season would be his breakout season and we would see him Randy Mossing people all across the league. Well, that did not happen. So there's been some ups and some downs. I did enjoy watching MVS for the last 2 seasons. I was frustrated with him with the drops this year, but he did redeem himself, catching a critical pass in the AFC Championship game, plus a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And I have mixed emotions. I do like the guy. He seems like an intelligent person that has a lot of upside potential and issues left unresolved, but he is gone. But Scott Flowers is going to break it down and analyze this. I'm in my emotions, but Scott's going to look at the realistic picture and give you a brief overview of the 2 last seasons that we had with MVS. So I'm going to turn it over to Scott. That's all I got to say for right now, but stay tuned. Scott's got more coming your way, talking about the Chiefs' new stadium concept. And then we're going to be discussing all of the prospects. Oh, man, we got some juicy prospects coming up before this draft and free agency moves. So with that, let's jump on over and let Scott take this thing away.
Welcome back. This is the Family Sports Network. And I'm your host, Scott Flowers, along with Carlton Flowers. In this video, we're going to be talking about, I guess, one of my father's favorite players, but I don't really like him because he got released. His name was Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I mean, I'm not really that surprised. I'm not that shocked because he's not that good. Valdes-Scantling, he's kind of had an up and down career with the Chiefs so far. It's been kind of lackluster. So in the regular season, his first year with the Chiefs, in 2022, he started 11 games with just 687 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's really not that good. And the site that I'm looking at doesn't even account for his drops, as he's probably had at least 10 to 15 different drops that have caused us the game. So it really isn't that surprising. And then the next year, 2023, it was even worse. So he goes from 42 receptions to only 21. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to mention. He had, in 2023, he was 81 for 42. 81 for 42. Now, obviously, if Patrick throwing him the ball, he's not going to be that accurate, but I'm saying that not every target is going to go to him, but that's not a good sign. That's not even like half. He should at least be around 60% from targets to receptions, but no, that's not even half. 80 to 42, that's half of his receptions. Half of his targets going for receptions. That doesn't even count for his drops. And then the next year is the exact same thing, but lower. This time it was 42 for 21. Just 21 receptions. If it sounds like that's low, it's because it is. For a starting receiver in the NFL, 21 receptions for 315 yards and 1 touchdown. And you people are shocked that this dude is getting cut. Hold on a second. Let me show you guys something. Now, what I'm using is Pro Football Reference. That's what I'm looking at right now. So basically, now it's saying for Travis Kelce, in the same year, 2022, he was 152 with 110 catches. What? That's so much better. That's more than half the targets went for catches. 110 catches, 152 targets? That's insane. And 1,338 yards and 12 touchdowns? Then the next year, 121 targets and 93 receptions. And 984 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's like a night and day difference. So, tell me again how this is shocking. Now, I know that my dad, we're supposed to be on the same page. This is... My dad hyped him up because he believes in him, but I never really liked the guy. Again, that's not good. For a starting wide receiver in the NFL, and your numbers are that low. Now, I realize that he was pretty decent in the playoffs. So, 2022 playoffs, he had 7 receptions for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns and like 2 starts. That's not bad. That's pretty decent. And then in 2023, he started 3 games and had 8 receptions for 128 yards and a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's pretty decent. However, let's go back to Travis. Travis, in 3 games in the playoffs, he had 27 receptions for 257 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the following year, the 4 games, 32 for 37. That's really high. 32 for 37. You want to talk about a more reliable target? 13 for 37, that's a really high percentage. And 13 for 8, that's like not good. So 37 for 32, 355 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm probably not going to make very many fans with this, or not very many friends, but I'm not shocked that he's getting cut. I'm going to pause the video one more time because you guys got to see this. Okay, so... now we're looking at, sportingnews.com was where we're getting this from. And we had a stat this year that we should not be proud of. We were number 1 in something. Number 1. Was it number 1 in receiving touchdowns? No. Was it number 1 in passing yards? Almost, but no. Number 1 in rushing yards? No. Number 1 in cool coaches? Yes, but no. Number 1 in drops with 44. And you guys were shocked as to why this man's getting cut at the end of the season after 2 years. I mean, it's not that surprising. So, in the words of Triple H, we wish you the best in all of your future endeavors. But in other words, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you're fired. Pretty certainly looking forward to the draft. And it says Xavier Worthy, out of Texas, he ran a 4.21 40-yard dash. Could he be coming over to KC? No one knows, but there's a lot of good options in the draft this year. So we can find someone to fill in opposite of Rashee Rice. He also have the option of picking up Mike Evans from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you don't really need Valdez-Scantling, or Mr. MVS, as he's like to be called. Sorry to break it to you. See you later.